Welcome to Presence with Peacock Voices, our YouTube channel where we discuss how mastering the human voice will allow you to become the leader and communicator that you want to be. Today, we're going to talk about accents. We have people coming to us all the time saying, I am not understood as well as I want to be. People don't take me seriously because of my accent. Fill in the blank with all the other reasons why somebody might come to us. And a lot of times what happens is they say, I want to get rid of my accent. And we don't do that. We don't believe in doing that because we don't believe in negating a portion of somebody's identity so that they can operate inside of the American workforce or inside of the English-speaking workforce. The reality is that it is not a whole accent that makes you hard to understand. It is not a whole accent that reduces your ability to sound like a leader. Every single language, every single accent has a superpower. Every single language and every single accent has something that can also make you harder to understand in a different language or in a different area. What we're looking to do instead of negating the entirety of something is say, okay, what are the little bits and pieces that don't work for you here? And what are the bits and pieces that really do work for you that you can showcase and that will kind of add to your uniqueness and really bring out some of who you are and bring out what makes you special and you. How do we do this? Well, first of all, it's really important to understand the beautiful parts of how you speak right now. What is it that makes you sound really amazing? So let's say you are somebody who comes from a Spanish-speaking background. Well, holy Batman, talk about a language with a speech pattern that is absolutely gorgeous. It's so melodic. Romance languages like Spanish and Italian and French, they have these beautiful, long, continuous lines with lots and lots of inflection built into them. Let me tell you this, in English and in the workplace, inflection is one of the most important parts of having a charismatic and powerful selling speech pattern. Massive superpower right there. Those long, continuous melodic lines, those are engaging. That makes people want to listen to you, want to hear what you have to say, to stay invested in what it is that you're talking about. Simultaneously, let's say, okay, so I come from the Spanish-speaking background and I have this beautiful melodic sound, and yet people still aren't hearing me. I use great inflection and they still aren't quite understanding what I'm saying. Well, the second step to understanding how to work with your vocal background is understanding what doesn't translate as well. So thinking about, okay, because Spanish has such a connected speech pattern, a lot of times my clients who come from that background speak very, very fast. And in English, because English is a percussive language where we express through consonants, it can actually make it really, really difficult to understand. And so saying, okay, one aspect, just one teeny tiny aspect of my accent that isn't working for me is speed. All I need to do is slow down and I'm easier to understand. So not only have I taken more superpowers and things I've gotten rid of over into my English speaking language, but now I get to maintain a huge component of who I am and where I come from as I'm speaking. And this works not just for different languages, but it also works for regional accents. And as you're working on this, so you figured out what works for you figured out what's not working for you, and then you go through and you slowly practice and you say, okay, I'm going to take sentence by sentence, practicing what's working and what's not working. And then you just build it into your everyday speech pattern. And this is how you capitalize on the power of your accent while still being able to be heard well. You might say, okay, well, Spanish is an easy one because we have the same vowels, we have the same consonants. There aren't huge changes. But what if you're coming from a Mandarin speaking background or a Russian speaking background or a language that utilizes a completely different alphabet? The same rules still apply. Every single language has something beautiful about it. Every single language has something that should be and can be really brought out and celebrated in English. When I think about people in my life who speak Farsi, It's a beautiful language, but it's very soft spoken. So the people I know who speak Farsi, when they come into the American workforce, can be a little gentle when it comes to interactions. And that's not necessarily translating as well as it could be, because in the English world, we have a pretty forceful and present speech pattern, right? But other aspects of Farsi, again, very melodic, very beautiful to hear. There's a forward resonance and it's really lovely to listen to. So, how do we take that and say, okay, you have this really lovely speech pattern. Let's just make it a tick louder. That's it. That's the only thing we need to switch. Keep the color, keep the inflection, keep all these things that you're doing really well, and let's just make it louder. That's it. And all of a sudden, you're still you, you still sound like you've kept your identity, and you're easier to understand. And also, you're able to operate inside of this world that we live in here in the United States while maintaining your identity. As always, I hope you found this interesting. I hope that you have something to think about, to explore, to play with. I would love to hear about what your language or your accent superpowers are, and let us know in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.